Good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone had a happy and very festive and fulfilling Thanksgiving. My name is Denoris Wilson. You are now tuned in to the BRI, which is the Black Research Institute, where we're here and we're committed to solving the problems. Tonight's guest is a brother that I've been knowing for about 4 or 5 years. I did some work with him, and he's a brother who wears many hats. It's going to be an interesting interview tonight, man. So stay tuned. Let's roll that intro when we get back and I introduce tonight's guest. So the wait is over. I finally got him. He's sitting down. He's ready to join us. I'd like to introduce everybody to the CEO and founder of CannabisTV, Mr. Hokie Bowman.
Hey now. Happy to be here, Denoris. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, Hope?
Oh, man, trying to stay blessed and try to stay safe during these COVID times.
I know that's right. But I don't even know how you trying to do that, because every time I see you, you somewhere else.
Well, within reason. Rest assured you, I'm not flying. I'm not doing any partying. I'm staying within the confinements of secured environments. Rest assured you that.
Okay. So before we get into the meat of the interview, man, tell the people a little bit about Hokie.
Hokie Bowman. Well, Hokie Bowman is a black content creator, originally from Detroit, Michigan. By way of Washington, D.C., where I had attended Howard University. Was at Howard University during the time in which I like to consider the golden era. That's when you had people like Marlon Wayans there, Anthony Anderson, P. Diddy, Arnell Simpson. I could keep going on, and I'm sure I'm missing some people, but, we were all there at the same time. And I caught the entertainment bug of sorts while I was at Howard University and while I was at the College of Fine Arts, and I began to throw parties and whatnot. So after venturing off from Howard University, I went to Los Angeles, and that's when, it got serious for me. So
okay. So I think when I initially came in contact with you, you were doing your annual Howard University homecoming party.
Well, actually, that event I had prepared that year for, and I hadn't gone back to DC in like a couple decades, really. So I was just getting back into the market. So I wanted to have a couple events, to pretty much reintroduce myself and introduce a new brand of sorts. So it was all about the timing. It was all about the timing.
And it's crazy because before you called me, Trini hooked us up, right? Wasn't it Trini?
It was actually Eric.
Eric, no. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric,
shout out to Eric. Yeah, he spoke very, very, very highly of you.
Oh, man,
if you're gonna do something, you better do it with Denoris. He is awesome, and show me your work, and I was blown away, and of course you designed a great deal of material for me that it went over well. So I want to thank you again.
I remember before Eric introduced us, I was seeing, like, on Eric's page, who is Hokie? And that was just the slogan. Who is Hokie? Well, I was like, yo, who is Hokie? Like, who is Hokie? Because you had pictures and everybody had the sticker. Who is Hokie? Who is Hokie? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, Okay, who is
Yeah.
Hokie? Because I know, if someone is gonna go through the trouble of doing that, right? They
Mhm,
serious about what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
and
mhm.
it was brilliant because it made people like actually think, well, who is Hokie? You know what I mean? Like who is Hokie? And
Well,
and and
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I mean, it was a brilliant tactic because it was like, because you had Kid Capri,
Mhm.
right? You had Kid
Yeah.
Capri,
Yep.
and who else you have? You
Well, it was rolling into the weekend with you had a few of the one of the guys from Shy that was
right, right,
affiliated with it, Bill Hill, who had gone to Howard University himself during that time, and he's gone on to do a lot of different comedic things. So it was something that I wanted to put together, something small and nothing major. But
How you figure nothing major though? How you figure nothing major? Like honestly, how you figure nothing major? You had like 3 venues, didn't you?
no, I only had two actually. It was on one night. It
Oh,
was a
only
Friday night.
two, only two though,
It
right?
was only
Like on
it was only two, bro. It was only two.
only only
You
two
know,
venues, right?
but
Like
yeah,
I,
and then I had a actually no one knew this, but I had a piece of another event that was going on during that time. I just kept my mouth
right,
quiet, you know.
right. No, 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 no. But you act like, well, the way you're saying it and your humbleness right now, oh, it was just 2 venues, but they wasn't just regular venues. Like you, I remember, look, man, before I started designing, you had did a commercial with the walkthrough of the venue. You had
Oh
did it
yeah.
all, like So, but before then, I had never seen a promoter promote for homecoming like that. Yeah, they would do the flyers and they would do the radio voiceovers. Howard University. You know they you know
I
they would
remember
have
those.
that. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember those.
So yeah,
They're still
they would
doing them.
have those. I don't know, but you was the first that I actually saw put any thought in behind how you was gonna market that particular weekend, right? So then when you told me, because you you're a screenwriter as well, like you write,
Yes.
you're a screenwriter as well. So then when you told me that, I said I get it. Like I sort of get it because you know being a graphic designer, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna lay it out right. Like I'm gonna lay it out right,
And that's how
and
I
and
am. I feel you.
right,
Yeah.
you're gonna lay it out right. And then I saw you, and you had finished writing. I think it was I don't know if it was a movie, but a film
Yeah, it was a
and
screenplay
a screenplay.
entitled
Yep,
Ride Share.
right, shit. And I looked up, and you getting off the plane in Mexico. You in Mexico
Oh
for the
yeah, that was last year. Yes,
yeah
yes, that was a great experience too. By the way, Denoris, that was the first time I had gone deep into Mexico. I had the furthest I had ever gone into Mexico prior to going into Oaxaca, Mexico at the time, was Tijuana.
right,
I hadn't gone any further than Tijuana. So, that experience in itself, I was looking forward to it because, I just wanted to experience their culture in Oaxaca and Mexico as a whole while I was there. And it was such an experience that I can honestly say I was pretty much the only brother in Oaxaca at the time. Outside of,
right.
I take that back. I ran into one of my alumni. She was at the film festival as well, and we had to be the only two black people in the whole entire. and,
So
and it was great. I was walking down the street. I wanted to go get some chips and some other things, and I walked down the street. I remember the first day walking down the street, and you.
okay, he froze. So he's in DC. So I'm gonna try to talk to y'all while he comes back. Hopefully he'll come back soon. When he comes back, oh man, technology, gift and a curse, man. But yeah, man, that's Hokie. Hopefully I get him back in the screen, and we'll finish this interview. But I want to say if you are a content creator, a personality, you're thinking about having a show, you already have a show. I'm extending a personal invitation, a personal invite to you. He's still stuck. A personal invite to you to come and let the BRI produce and distribute your content. We're trying to build our brand, but not off you, meaning that we're not trying to use you to build our brand. We're trying to use you to build your brand and this brand together simultaneously. So if you are a content creator, a personality, okay, he's back, or you have an idea for a show, man, hit me up, man. You can hit me up on Facebook at DCGRFX007, or you can email me at dcgrfx@gmail.com. Okay, let me get Hokie back in here. All right, you back?
Yeah, I'm on that bootleg 5G. You know, they got this 5G going on. I don't know what's wrong with this 5G, man. I got to get the 6G. This shit ain't happening right here.
But yeah, so you was in Mexico. Now,
first, yes. So
you
great experience.
You went and you told everybody about the experience of Mexico, but you didn't tell them why you were there.
Right, and I was there because the screenplay I had written entitled "Rideshare" was it was a finalist for best action screenplay, and I was also up for an award in another category, best overall script. So that was very important that I made that trip there. And I met a lot of contacts. I got to say, I met a lot of contacts, met a lot of other like-minded individuals, filmmakers and producers, and met a lot of studio heads. So yeah, it was a really, really enriching experience.
Okay, so I didn't hear from you for about another year, and then I get a call from you, and you say, Denoris. And by the way, I never got around to it, but you was in Vegas this time. You was in Vegas.
You left me out there this time.
Yeah. But nah, I'm listen though. Honestly though, I am very proud with what you came up with. Like, that's dope. That because you showed like a little peep of the logo, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, there you may have seen a few logos coming out of my pipeline here. Originally, when I went into, and I know where we're going with this, the first brand there was the Cannabis Channel.
Right.
Okay. So now the Cannabis Channel, after one of my partners there, Rob McQueen, and we were talking, and turns out that we eventually discovered, after being so hyped up on the Cannabis Channel, that there were a few other cannabis channels.
Right.
And, because of how the industry is situated right now, it's only legal in certain markets, and, it's pretty much wide open right now until, it just becomes decriminalized. Hopefully, shout out to Kamala Harris. Hopefully she sticks to her word about decriminalizing marijuana. I decided, after having a powwow with Rod and a few others on the team, what I decided, I went back to the drawing board, and I wanted to do a rebrand of sort. I knew it would cost me a bit of time as well. So what I did was I came up with a concept entitled Phase. But instead of writing it out, I just did the letters PAZ. And, I wanted to come with an offbeat brand of sorts that would be more sexy and appealing to a more mature and a more enriched audience. Move away from the stoner look and the grunge type of feel, especially as a black content creator. I wanted to bring more of a sexy feel to what we were doing, and of course, the branding had to reflect what we will eventually be bringing to the screen here in January. So,
Right.
yeah,
I mean, even though I didn't get around to doing the logo for the Cannabis TV, the Phase logo that I saw was hot. Like it was,
thank you.
it was hot. Like so, whoever did it, shout out to them because that thing, I like that thing. Like I was like, yo, and you know, as a designer, I can actually look at something else and be like, yo, I never would have did it like that.
Actually,
But that's dope.
and I had actually, Denoris, I had about 70 options to choose from.
Wow.
70. I ran a contest.
Well,
I ran a
wouldn't give you
contest.
70. I would give you
And
2.
yeah, I'm used to it. It'd be two hot ones though. It's two hot ones. But I had an opportunity to go through, 70 possible logos, and it was very, very difficult. There were some really, really, really great options. I mean, great options. And
Do you know why when I do logos, do you know why I only start out and I only give people like 2 versions of the logo?
No, why is that?
Because giving people multiple looks at something is like taking a kid into Toys R Us and saying you can have one toy.
Okay.
That's impossible for that. That's impossible for that kid to figure out what toy that they want unless they really want that toy.
And that's what happened with me in this case, Denoris.
Right. You gotta really want that.
I really wanted that toy.
You gotta really want that toy, So, and then plus it's like after you look at so many designs, right? In your mind, they start meshing together.
Right. You know
what I mean?
They can play it. It really can.
Yeah.
Because and we found ourselves actually. I can honestly say we found ourselves. It may have been about the 7th logo, and I got to our choice about the 5th logo.
Okay.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is it." Because you have to understand. I'm not wanting. My whole desire was this has to be totally different than what I've been seeing. And so it didn't have the usual flair
marijuana
for the
leaf
colors,
right.
The same keywords, because phase is not one of the same cannabis, weed, marijuana, smoke, high.
Right.
You get where I'm going with it.
Right.
So because phase doesn't play into that, the logo, I wanted it to be exemplified of where I was going with it. But I chose that black because that black and silver because it didn't exemplify typical cannabis colors,
right?
The atypical cannabis colors. So
right
there we have it.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I like I told you. Hold on. Wait a minute. That thing dope, man.
Oh, there it is.
that thing is dope.
Yeah, shout out to Ariza. He did that. My guy over in actually in Bangladesh. He banged it out.
In Bangladesh?
Yeah, Bangladesh, believe it or not.
That thing is nice right there. That is nice. I like that. Hokie.
Yeah.
And so when I said it, I couldn't even be mad. I was like, yo, I couldn't even be like, yo, he just went on here without doing, Yeah, I couldn't even be mad because I like the look. Like me, I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm
Neither am
not
I.
a hater.
Right.
I mean, if I see good work, I see good work, right?
And exactly. I mean, again, when I saw that, I was like, I'm telling you, it was two of them though. There's a second one. It's very clean, but we're gonna use it. I have another way. I figured out another way how I want to use it. So,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to using it though. It's
Right.
very sexy. It's very
Right.
sexy. It's on par with this the one you like there, the black one. But
Okay.
I'm holding that one in the holster there. I'll hold
You
that one in the
supposed
holster.
to. You supposed to. So now we done talked about the logo. We done talked about
Mhm.
how you came about the logo. Let's talk about the product now. Let's talk about the
Oh, let's
product.
talk it. Let's talk to me. What we talking
Let's
about?
talk
Come
about the
on
product.
now.
So
I'm super excited.
Phase. So Phase
Phase.
Cannabis Network.
That's right.
What is this about?
Well,
Besides the typical, okay, yeah, it's cannabis. But besides that, what is Phase about?
phase is the next phase in cannabis broadcasting.
Okay.
Okay, it's the next phase. It is the type of programming that will appeal to uh, those cannapreneurs, tastemakers, those connoisseurs. We got a little bit of something for everyone. To be
Right.
perfectly honest with you, um, understanding my audience was very important. You know, and what you will see, what we're about, will be reflected in the content.
Okay.
Um, we have a show. We have several shows that we'll be rolling out. We have a show entitled Mr. Edible, uh, which I'm excited about. It's one because it's going to add a different type of vibe in how we cover edible companies and edible cannapreneurs. So I'm excited about that. We have another show entitled the Phase Cannabis Report. Um, that will cover the financials and news within the cannabis industry. I'm very excited about that. Um, Rob McQueen, one of our producers here, he'll be definitely anchoring that segment. Ben Calhoun will, funny and talented guy. He'll be anchoring the Mr. Edible segment. Then we'll have the Bud over beer and sports and entertainment show. It's a sports show, and I'm
Okay.
excited about that. We'll have that on the platform. We'll have a couple other shows like a travel show, as well as a.
Like a weed green book.
There you go. That's there you go. That's and that's you can appropriate a lot of what you could feel the concepts would be because
Right.
this is wide open. This is
Right.
uncharted territory. So we have to
Right.
have some sort of point of reference.
Right.
So that's what I'm excited about. We got a point of reference that you
So
saw there.
on on the network, are you going to also feature like programs that also delve into like the medicinal usage
Oh,
of?
of course. We have,
Okay.
and I was going to allude to that. We have segments. We have a show entitled the Phase Shopping Network of sorts.
Okay.
That's where you will get the education and a lot of the medicinal side of what we'll be doing because we'll be partnered with Wealthy Leaf and Healthy Leaf on that particular venture. So you'll be able to not only come to the platform and be referred to our partners, dispensary partners, our delivery partners, our partners that are in the space and our edible partners, all those the small businesses, minority owned businesses, primarily black and brown, will be able to you'll be able to be referred to do the commerce and transactions for the purchase of the cannabis and the CBD and all of those sort of products that we'll be offering on the channel.
Okay. So,
S-
but you yourself, right? If
mhm.
I'm understanding correctly, you yourself, you're not a cannabis distributor.
No. I'm not a grower. I'm not a manufacturer of
Oh,
cannabis. I am positioning myself as a media player in this
oh.
space.
So you're
Before,
the Dan Rather of cannabis.
no. I'm more like looking to be along the lines of, say, Will. You can look at a Tyler Perry or Will Packer
Okay,
or
okay,
someone
okay.
along those lines that's creating content. This is going to be content relative to, say, a person that indulges in cannabis to a person that doesn't indulge. Because, those that don't indulge, you can still come to the platform and learn something about CBD and hemp and things of that nature. There's, again, that medical piece that we offer. And the older you get, you want to have uh, options of sort instead of having to take traditional meds. You want to have, if you're one of those type that you know um, is kind of turned back, turned off, or about taking, say, uh, what are those painkillers,
Right.
and you want to try a different route. um, you'll be able to get that education on the platform.
Okay. So how did you arrive from screenwriting
Mhm.
to the cannabis network?
I'm glad you
like how?
asked me that. I'm gonna tell you how. Now, I'll be honest with you, as an African American man that has been in this industry and knocking on many a door that I have over the last 20 some odd years, 28, 25 to 28 years, I learned that, in order to walk through these doors, I have to make my own break. I can't ask for a job. I have
Right.
to I have to bring something to the table other than just my scripts at that particular point in my career, I felt. And after the COVID hit, you know, like we were talking about off camera, I felt that, when Hollywood begun to shut its doors down because of the COVID, it even the playing field. So because I had been playing in the cannabis industry and the stocks and playing around with that, just dibbling dabbling. I didn't want to. That wasn't my lane. I didn't really want to do that, but I wanted to. I knew I wanted to be in within the cannabis industry and make generational wealth somehow. I knew I
Right.
didn't want to. I didn't want to be a drug dealer. I didn't want to sit in the dispensary and pump weed all day. I didn't want to do all those sort of things. I've never been that guy. I'm
Right.
more a people person, and so and I'm a creative. So I sat up one day. I was smoking some weed, and I figured, you know what? Why not make my own break that I've been looking to make in mainstream Hollywood? Why don't I just make my break in the cannabis space? And I went and I took a look at what our counterparts were putting out in terms of content in the cannabis space, and I said, this is it won't keep me it wouldn't keep me engaged in a lot of the content for a sustained period of time. Um, and I felt like I can exploit our cannabis use and some of the funny things and some of the things that we experience as minorities to the screen
Okay.
in various situations, various means of sorts creatively. So that's why we came up with concepts like Mr. Edible. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I smoke one with. What are you smoking on?
You tease people with that one right there, cause I remember, like, you did a series of pictures. You did a series of pictures, and there were a couple of celebrities that you were smoking with, and you was like, I remember this time when I smoked with, like, it was maybe a
Right.
year and a half ago. You're like, I remember this
Yeah.
time when I smoked with,
See,
and
I was
so
trying to
you,
keep that one under wraps, but yes, that's gonna be one of my favorite shows. I
okay,
get to take back some of the stories and bring it
right.
back around with some of the celebrities that I smoked with, and we'll touch bases on some of those days that we had in Los Angeles and Hollywood doing that sort of thing.
Okay, so now that you decided to, dip your toe into the content creation side of the cannabis, genre or whatever,
Uh-huh.
how difficult or how easy have you found it to actually say you're gonna do it and actually do it? Like, is it okay? For example, I know that with the growers, the cannabis growers, there are not a lot of minority cannabis growers,
Right.
right? There are not a lot of minority cannabis growers. And I've heard that the reason being is because they make it, one, the licensing is so expensive, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Right. The
Yes.
license, like you're not gonna come into the cannabis industry, for the most part, with anything less than $100,000 to start out. Right.
This is true. This is true.
Right.
Your operating costs and just your license
Right.
alone is going to, it's going to cut into your overhead. You know,
So you are basically going into a field where outside of the field you are a minority, but you going into this field, you're a super minority. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a
yeah,
super
no,
minority.
yeah, no, I get where you're going with this. No, no, and
So
yeah, no, go ahead, ask.
so how is that? Like, how what are the challenges that you face with that situation with being just so outnumbered with just not only just money but resources and people to like me. I can come to you and be like, yo, Hokie, I'm trying to do this broadcast, but I ain't got no content creator. You're a content creator. I can come to you as a brother and be like, yo, I need help. Who do you go to for the cannabis network?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I've I take I take pride on a couple of fronts. Being an African American Black content creator, I take very, and I want everybody to know this. I take pride in being Black. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. It don't get too much blacker than that. Went to Howard University, all that. There are struggles within the industry, the cannabis industry, like any other industry that we pretty much enter into. The cars. At the start of the race, we're always back
Behind.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Behind. So, um, with me understanding that, I went into this with that understanding, and understanding that in itself, I leaned a lot on and a lot heavy on a lot of my relationships.
Okay.
I lean heavier on that because of the very reasons that and everyone as an African American person in this country experiences daily. So I try not to get so caught up in the whole we can't work together, that whole stigma of African Americans, blacks can't work together. I hear that a lot. And that's far from the truth in my case. Maybe it's because I've had an opportunity to present myself as a business person and doing good business in several circles, many circles, from the east to the west and in between. So, as it stands, especially having an opportunity to lean on Howard University as well. As it stands, I just keep my head to the ground and grind out, and clearly know that what I'm doing it's groundbreaking.
Right. Right.
I
Well,
realize that.
what
And
to piggy I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
oh no,
interrupt
go
you,
ahead.
Hokie. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
But to piggyback off of what you're saying about, your relationships. You are a product of an HBCU, right? And one thing I can honestly say about, because I didn't graduate from an HBCU. I spent my first 2.5 years at an HBCU,
Okay.
and the best experience I ever had in my life. You know what I mean? Because because it was people that I probably wouldn't have never ever really got to interact with in my life had I not went to Elizabeth City State University. Shout out to the Vikings.
There you go.
So I but the HBCU, when you go to HBCU, you leave there with a sense of camaraderie for all HBCUs, right?
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, most of your partners that you are in business with are a product of a HBCU,
This is so true. This is so
right?
true. And a lot of them are Greek. They're Black
Right,
Greeks. Alphas. I got guys on my team that are alphas, kappas, Qs, and Phi Beta Sigma. And
right.
I remind them of this. Especially when it comes time for us to start rolling out these campaigns.
You,
You
better
better
hit them
get the
chapters
leaning
up.
on y'all chapters. When you hear all that, y'all, this is what y'all went
Look,
through all that stuff for,
Right. Look. Each one of y'all about 2-3 million strong. Like,
Oh man, look where Joe Biden, look at how that got him up in there.
right, come on.
Okay,
Like, look,
so
when we roll this out, we shouldn't have no problems, right?
yeah, so I'm leaning on them. I'm really leaning on them, and it's a beautiful thing, just to see these brothers call on their brothers and their within their frats, and get things churning for the same common cause.
One,
So yeah.
one thing that I've learned, well, not learned, but that I have experienced. Look, I went to Elizabeth City for 2.5 years,
Uh-huh.
and I have people that I am still close to from Elizabeth City today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Today that I'm really close to today, and Elizabeth City, you small. It's nowhere near the Howard in regards to population or whatever, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get it.
But the spirit of camaraderie, the spirit of camaraderie in HBCU is everybody wants to see everybody succeed.
Yes. And it that's one of the things I love about Howard University, that experience. I have some of the most meaningful relationships still intact from my years spent there, and the people I've met. Um, I cherish it, and it's nothing that is, you can't compare it to much. I had an opportunity before I got to Howard. I spent couple semesters at Western Michigan University. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if it wasn't for my really, really good friend, Stephen Belser, I would not have even come to Howard University, because it was I'll never forget, Howard was playing Morehouse this particular year. And he asked me to come visit. And I was like, man, I'm not coming. And at the time I was working for Northwest Airlines and going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And so he knew I could jump on the flight and get there. And so I was like, man, I'm not coming, blah, blah, blah. And so he called me. I'll never forget this. He called me on a Thursday and it was like in the morning. He started, yo, you need to come, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get on this flight and come. I jumped on the flight. It was like, I got on the last flight to DC. And I got into DC in that evening, and we didn't go anywhere that night because he had a test the next day and he had to study before he could get loose. So Steve Belser had his test. Meanwhile, we go to the campus. He takes his test. He's in the school to be at the time. So now I'm left to just wing it.
Right.
I'm left on campus. I don't know nobody. But when I first walked onto campus and that energy and those people I saw, and everybody was just so black and just dressed, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen this many beautiful black people in my life. You know, I'm coming from Detroit, Michigan. You know, that's
it's grungy. It's grungy.
No, it's not. It's not as grungy as a lot of people think. It's really not. I'm not gonna do that to my city. But you know,
you're not supposed to. But anyway,
nah, it was just a lot of different beautiful black people I saw. That's what it was for me. I just never
different black people.
Yes.
Right.
So
right.
I ran the north. I ran into the administration building, the dean of admissions office. They were in there. Nobody was in there. Just by the fluke of God, no one was in there. And I just walked in there being myself. I need to go to school here, blah, blah, blah. What do I need to do? Well, you know, and so they said, can you get some unofficial transcripts sent here? Yes, I can right now. So the dean of admissions, his door was open. He was listening to my conversation. He told me to come into his office. We got to talk, and I told him, listen, I got to go to school here. I'm at Western Michigan. I'm not feeling it. And so he actually called the school, got the transcript sent over. I was in Howard University that following semester.
Wow.
That winter semester. Out of there.
I have a similar story, man.
I was gone.
I had a similar story. I hadn't even planned on going to college. College was not like, I didn't even think about college. Like, I hadn't planned on. I didn't know what I was going to do after I graduated. Like, you know what I mean? I was just going to wing it. And a guidance counselor by the name of Mr. Hager, he said, man, what you going to do? I was like, I don't know. You know, I might go to the military or something like that. He was like, all right, well, I'm going to take you up to Elizabeth City. I ain't never heard of Elizabeth City in my life. Like, I had never heard of it. Listen, back then, the only black colleges that I actually knew was Howard and Hampton.
That was it.
That was it. Jeez. And listen, I live in the state with the most black colleges.
Wait, what was that? What was the other school?
Hampton University. Oh, you
what?
said what? I never. The real HU. The real
All I know is the real HI. Hampton Institute. All right. I don't know where they get off with it. Just all of a sudden, once they became a university, they want to become the real HU. So, go figure, right? Oh, no. Shout out to Hampton U. I love them.
Yeah,
man.
shout out. I love them too. They was in the CI when I went there. So, anyway, I had never, like I said, I never heard of Elizabeth City. Now, I come from a small town in North Carolina. I mean, really small town. The population here is like 10,000.
Okay.
Right? So, but it's only like 20% blacks, right?
Oh.
So when I went to Elizabeth City, it felt like he had brought me from England to Africa. You know, I used to go to DC in the summers because my mother lived there. I used to go to DC in the summers, but you sort of expect DC to be, you know, black. They call it Chocolate City.
Chocolate City.
That's what it is. So you expect that. But I'm in North Carolina, and I see all these, like you said, beautiful black people, man.
Yes.
That night, my friend Tracy Williams, we went together. That night, I told Tracy, after being on campus the whole day, I told Tracy, I'm going to school there. That's what I'm going to school. Right. I'm going to Elizabeth City. And that was like the best decision I could have made in my life at that time because, man, the people that I met, that HBCU experience, it hit a little different. You know what I mean?
It hits so hard too. It hits you hard, man. I'm trying to tell you. And you know, you just I love the fact that I have managed to keep so many relationships intact over the years.
Right.
And I'm so thankful for that and making that decision. You know, um, it's made me into the person that I am today. You know, being there and like I like to reference, become going from a boy to a man. You know, it all
Exactly.
that
And
whole
and
transition, it all it all it all hit there for
it
me.
hit there.
You know,
Listen, and the thing about when you go to HBCU, you know how when you go somewhere new and everybody's new, you expect people to be sort of standoffish for a while, and then
oh
they
yeah,
start opening up. Not a HBCU.
oh no, no, not a
It's
HBCU, and
it's 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 all
it
go from it's
it's
all go.
first I had to get with the Detroit people, and then
Right.
once I got you know, got in with my Detroit people. Then we started meeting, and I'm meeting LA people. I'm meeting people from Oakland. I'm meeting the New York people. I'm meeting the Jersey heads, Chicago. You know, you name it. Down south, I was meeting all of the Texas people in the Southwest. I met all the people that I knew from Alabama, that went to Howard with us, Mississippi, and New Orleans. All, I mean, it was just Florida. It was just great. It was such a great
Right.
experience, and I'm still to this day friends with all of them.
That
All
that's
of them.
that's
Or
that's
like
how
I
it
can say,
works.
they're my friends.
They're my
You know,
friends, right? I
they're my
got
friends.
I and you know what? I was about to name some that I'm still friends with at Elizabeth City, but I don't want to forget nobody, and I don't want nobody to be mad at me. So
Right.
all the Vikings, y'all know who you are. So that's what it
Shout out
is.
to the
So
Vikings.
the Vikings, that's right. You know who it is. That's how. But
HBCUs.
I'm gonna tell you this story, and we're gonna get off this because we gotta talk about phase anyway. So,
Okay.
but so look, when I first went to Elizabeth City, I come on campus and I see this black guy. He talking funny, right? He talking funny, and I'm like, I ain't never heard no black guy like that. So I went up. I ain't. My wife always says he never meets a stranger. I talk to people like that's just I've always
Right.
been like that. Talked to him, found out he was from England,
Oh,
and he had
he
Elizabeth
had that
City.
British accent going.
Yeah, and he had Elizabeth City. For weeks, I thought he was lying. I ain't never seen no black person from England. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a little country dude, man. I don't really like. I don't
Oh
really know
my
too
God.
much about. I don't know too much about the world except the world that I travel in, which was
Right, right, right,
my
right.
home and DC. Like,
Respect.
and in between those worlds, I ain't never seen no black British dude. Like, so you must be lying. Like, I ain't, for weeks. For weeks,
I
I
can
told him
only
he was lying.
imagine.
Right. So now, phase, man.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about
Like,
it.
like you're not just doing a network. You doing it. You doing it. You doing it. Like you're not just rolling out like me. Just I'm doing my little broadcast. You are on Roku TV, Wells,
Yes, sir.
Amazon,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir. We're on
like
the Roku platform. Shout out to Roku and Amazon Fire TV. I'm very happy and excited about that opportunity, which was part of the reason why I did the rebrand. You know, I wanted to
okay,
come on there different and kind of separate myself from any of the other cannabis networks that might be up or come up, because I know the big boys are coming to the space. I know they're going to
right.
come once we get this traction going. It's just inevitable. But, you know, I'm excited about it because that platform itself has over 72 million subscribers,
Mm,
as well as the other platform itself. So, between that and some of the other uh, social media platforms will be on as well. We're looking at a quite a bit of people we're able to, introduce this brand to.
So when you roll it out on the Fire Stick and the Roku, you still have to drive people to that particular app on those particular platforms, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But let's say when you do roll out, I will be able to go into my Roku and find your app.
Yep, you certainly will. It'll be right on the platform there, just like everybody else's. You see that
Wow.
logo we've just been talking all about? It's gonna be over there with the rest of the logos, the rest of the CBS logos and ABC, Netflix. Everybody that has whatever they have on Roku will be there too.
So is it going to be a 24-hour network?
Oh, of course. We'll have live components to it. Some of the live streaming will happen during the shopping network, well,
Right,
the
right,
shopping
right.
channel, as well as the sports channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that'll be a lot of live stuff going on there.
Man, I just do this little broadcast every night, and it take me all day to get prepared for that. So you doing 24-hour content every day?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a growing period. We're going to go through the growing pains. We're going to grow, and you guys will see us grow. But I like to tell people to curve their expectations. You know, this is the first time I've ventured off into something like this on my own, but I have a great team. I really do. I have a great team, so I don't feel as alone as I did when I first got started with it. But
Okay.
you know, we're gonna. I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think we really are.
So you get to charge for your own. You get to charge commercial space, huh?
Yes, we do have advertising opportunities on our platform, which I'm excited about. Um,
Wow.
Commercial airtime, product placement, mentions, all those good things. Will be offered in the cannabis space. I'm laughing
That's why
because
you see. That's why you did that. You think you slick, Hokie. You not slick. You not slick. Cause the channel was free. Cause you get it on Roku, the channel free, but the commercials ain't free. You gonna have to pay for the commercial.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to stay. We have to have some sort of sustainability here in the
Hey,
North.
hey, hey, yo, I ain't mad at you. I'm
Everything
not.
ain't free.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, I'm not mad at you. I just know this. From what I know about you, it wouldn't surprise me where I go down and download your app and it'd be like, you can have the free version or you can pay $11.99 a month for the non-commercial version of. If I know you, something like that gonna be in the works. I already know something like the free version, but for eleven
Oh
ninety
my
nine,
God,
no
bruh.
commercial. I
You,
already
you,
know, Hokey.
you're driving me over to OnlyFans now. Sorry, Roku. I gotta go over to OnlyFans now.
But yo, you know what, Hoka? I'm very excited for you, brother. Like
Oh, thank you, Denoris. I really appreciate that.
I'm very excited for you. Like um we talked about it the other day. I mean, where earlier today, where right now, given the situation in the current environment, man, like the HOV lane is open. Like the HOV lane is wide open right now.
You
And
know, yes,
if you
sir.
have the courage enough to get out of that middle lane or that not so fast lane and jump into the HOV lane, you might can make a way for yourself. You might can, you know what I mean? You can make a break for yourself. And
And,
that's what you're doing.
and that's what it's all about, man. I just want to be afforded the opportunity to be able to, showcase my talent, uh, showcase other talent, uh, and just build commerce and employ people, especially my people. Um,
Right.
I look to employ them and put them in positions of importance that they don't otherwise have opportunities with our counterparts or my competition, for that matter. So, these are some of the things I'm looking forward to and educating along the way. You know,
Right.
um, so that's all. I just always wanted the opportunity. So I have to go create my own now,
I
Dolores.
know that's right.
Yeah.
So are you currently looking for influencers or personalities or you got all that covered?
Well, as far as I'm always looking for, the next best or big thing or person. Um, because again, I have a network at my disposal. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just setting up for, just one show. So I have a plethora of ideas for several other shows. And I know in due time I'll be, holding casting calls and things of that nature. I have a few friends that are casting directors out in Los Angeles that can stretch across the internationally. So we're gonna get somebody. I'm gonna get something here, man.
See, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I can picture your name coming across all these different shows like Dick Wolf.
There we go. See, now you talking. That's
You
that's
know what I mean? Like,
I'm all right.
but
I know who he is.
right, right. But the difference between you and Dick Wolf, people see you.
I can't be Charlie or Dick Wolf. No,
Nah,
there's
nah.
no possible way.
Listen, have you ever seen Dick Wolf?
I've never seen Dick Wolf, but I know exactly
He
who
on
you talking
he
about.
on he on everything, man.
Yes, Dick Wolf is him, Lauren Michaels. Um,
Mm-hmm.
those guys were staples. I'm missing some of the other guys, but you know, I was to be honest with you. I mean, those guys were great in their lane, in their respective lanes, and they have a great, a huge audience from a lot of their creations. But I'm just looking to carve my own lane and be the first Hokie. I want to be like Hokie type thing. I
I know
like
that's
let's step
I
outside the box and I want to do it like he did it. Dang, why ain't I think of that? That's
right.
how I want people to receive what I'm doing instead of receiving it in any other type of way.
Well, honestly, Hoka, I have no doubt, man, that it's gonna hit. Like, I just knowing you these last couple of years and knowing how you prepare and you know strategize and plan. It like when you do something, it ain't off the cuff,
Nah,
right? It's never like off the cuff. So
nah.
so basically, when you do something, it's already a success. It just got to get there.
Hey, I always envision, I like how people have vision boards, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's in terms of creativity. I put myself in a space where I don't know. It's a gift where I visualize what it is that I want to bring to fruition. So
Right.
it has been that way. I've had this happen to me about Phase Cannabis Network and where I want to take this thing and what I want to do with it. And so having that gift, I don't take it for granted in the least bit, and that's
Right.
why I work hard, and that's why I don't just come off the cuff
Right.
because I want it to be a success, a huge
But
success.
but not only that though, when you invest in the type of money you invest in, you can't be coming off the cuff. It gotta be some strategy behind it, man. Like
Man, who you telling, man? And I'm putting my money in it all of
right,
this. I feel like
right,
Martin now.
right. When you
Man,
invest in that
this ain't
type
no
of money,
joke, man.
nah, when you invest that type of money, man, you ain't got no time for no cuffing. Like it gotta be planned out and right, So and I know you, like I know it's gonna be right, man. So I know it's gonna be right.
It
But
will, man. Again, I shout out to my team, Rob McQueen, Ben Calhoun, Dover Salter, and Felicia Knuckles over at Wealthy Leaf, Larry Flowers, my man Ty Walston. Shout out to all these guys and gals that have really helped us get this thing going. Sam Breyer out in California, Shallant Pfeiffer, all those guys. Shout out to you guys as well. And I'm just looking forward to just going on to doing bigger and better things.
okay. So when is the official rollout date?
31st of January. That's my deceased sister's birthday.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, it ain't off the cuff. That's purposeful.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? Like
Without a doubt.
That's exactly what I'm talking about with you. Like, it ain't like an arbitrary date. The date means something. Like, you planned that. Like, you know what I mean? So that's exactly what, that's a prime example of what I'm talking about when it comes to you. And you know, man, I'm very excited for you. I just want you to agree to do one thing for me. Just one
What's
thing.
that? Anything. What's going on, Norris?
When them phase shirts come out, man, I need a 2X of that. Like,
I got you, and I got you a hat too.
I know they coming. I know they coming. Knowing you, I know they coming.
Oh,
They might even grow lime. They might glow lime green coming at you.
We've been in the lab. We've been in the lab, man. And I'm about to push my man Jay Norris. You know, shout out to Jay Norris. You know, we've been talking about doing some things, so you know, I'm about to press up on him to do a lot of things with his company and his brand Guess. So you know, we're looking forward to. We're gonna have some very stylistic merchandise.
Okay, well, just give me my hat and my shirt, man. I rock it. You know what I mean?
And we gotta get you in that.
And as a matter of fact, don't give it to me. Just let me know when it's available to purchase, cause
I'm giving it to you.
That's how we do.
No. I'm giving it to you.
Put it away. You can give me one, but I'm gonna buy one.
You can buy one for somebody else, but you know.
Okay.
You know, I was about to say,
man.
Mom ever told you when somebody gives you.
Yeah, she did. My grandmother did. Yeah. Somebody give you something, shut up and take it.
Shut up and take it.
But Hokie, man, I told you, man, I was gonna have fun with you interviewing you
Oh
tonight,
man, this has been, man. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor, and I love what you're doing with the show. Keep it up, brother. I'm always gonna be supporting you. Anytime. You know, I'm always open. My door is always open. My phone is always on to you. You know that, brother. So anything I can do, you just let me know.
I will do. But I got to get you before January 31st because you get too big. You might not be able to get on the, you know.
Oh, come on, man.
No, you know what I mean?
No.
Nah, I know you're not. I know you're not like that.
Yeah, you got to.
Not like that.
Because, you know, you got to always, you got to do, you got to give back, man. You can't just go ahead and start taking off and don't come back to the people that helped you build your brand, man. Come on now.
Yeah, you know what though? Now that you say that, right? You know, a lot of people don't understand how hard it is for people who made it from small beginnings to be, you know, overwhelmingly success, how hard it is for them to actually go back and physically give back. And the reason why it's hard is because those small beginnings hold like a lot of bad memories for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I see that. Dang, I hadn't even thought about it from that retrospect.
Right.
Until you brought this to the table. And I fortunately for me, I grew up with great memories of Detroit. Still hold true to heart. Highland Park, Michigan is where I was born and raised. And so, I'm still.
Wait a minute. Highland Park?
Mm-hmm. Highland Park, Michigan.
How far is that from 7 Mile?
Oh, Highland Park is right down the street. I mean, everything. Highland Park is a city. This is Detroit. This circle.
Right.
Where I'm at. This is the circle.
Oh,
This is Highland Park in the circle around Detroit.
Wow.
Highland Park is Detroit, but Highland Park stands on Highland Park, and that's just how it's been. If you know anything about Detroit, you know about Highland Park.
Well, I'm a documentary buff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love documentaries, right? And Highland Park got a documentary out there about I forgot the brother's name, but he was like the most notorious drug dealer.
There's a few of those guys.
Right.
So I said, there's a few of those. Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But Highland Park was sort of the affluent part of Detroit, right?
Well, at one point, Highland Park again it's within the city of Detroit. It's Detroit is Highland Park is surrounded by Detroit. There were parts like you have two sides of the tracks, both sides of the tracks. It was like
Right.
that in Highland Park.
Okay.
So it was very rich in culture. It was very rich. A lot of astute people lived in the city of Highland
Right.
Park that
Right.
were, influencers throughout Detroit. So, honestly, when the Reagan administration, when they
War on
when they
drugs.
got on board, was
Right.
when Detroit started going down, in
Right.
terms of social economics and that sort of thing. Um, so I like to think that we're bouncing back now. Now that I've been coming back and forth a lot, I see where they're taking the city now as opposed to where it was before. Which is
Wait,
good.
you know what I found out though, Hokie? Like,
What's that?
if 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 you are in the change, you don't really see the change.
Well, you know, that's funny
Like
you
like
mentioned that.
like cuz for you spend a lot of time in DC, right? Like so
Yes,
you spend a lot of time in DC. So when you go back home, you can see different
yes,
things happening, right? But those
yes.
people back home can't see that.
No, they can't. But then there are individuals like myself that's coming in and letting them know whatever you're doing, keep doing it because I see it.
Right. Right.
We see it when we come, which motivates us to come back to do our part.
Mhm.
Which I plan on doing.
Right.
We have some things down the pipeline that I'm looking forward to bringing to the city, in a major way. So, yes, I can't blab about it right now, but I
Right.
signed the NDA, so I can't
Okay.
I
Okay.
can't talk about it
All I
yet.
know is about 5 to 7, maybe 10 years before I got married.
Uh-huh.
I was about to move to Detroit and get me $1 house.
Oh, you should. You should have.
No. When I tried, they told me that you had to be a resident
Yeah,
of the city for a certain amount of time
at least a year.
before. Yeah, and I
Hmm.
didn't know I didn't know anyone in Detroit to stay with for a year. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And I didn't want to do like just I'll pay you to use your address. I wanted to
right.
be because I didn't want later on down the line they figure out, yo, you didn't really live here. We're gonna take the house after I done put a whole lot of money into it or whatever. So, but yeah, there was a lot of same way with Baltimore dollar
Yes.
homes.
Yes. As a matter of fact, my partner Rod McQueen, he's doing a lot of real estate business in Baltimore, rehabs and all that sort of thing. I'm not really that's not really my expertise, my space, the real estate. But I know he's very into it. They're really aggressively uh, trying to revitalize certain parts of Baltimore, which is great. In my opinion, it's
Well,
always great. You know, uh,
well, it is it is one of those things like urban communities all over America, like with with it's not it's not the fact that there are no jobs. It's really the shift in skill sets needed for a job, right?
right.
Like whereas before, because things were not as mechanical as they are right now, you you could just you can walk on the job and have no experience and learn and learn as you go. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
Yeah.
as technical. It was more labor intense versus technology intense, right?
Right.
But now that it's more technology intense, right? It's like yeah, there are jobs out there, but there are not enough qualified applicants to to fill those jobs, right?
Right. Right.
So if there are not enough qualified applicants to fill those jobs, and that means those communities and where those non-qualified applicants are, they're gonna start going down.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
they're gonna start going down because there's no money coming in. You know what I mean? Or there's a cap on the type of salary that they're getting. So, it's just a shift, and
Yeah.
it's just a shift. And I see us though. I see us recognizing, and when I say us, I mean Black Americans. I see us recognizing those shifts and not trying to go into the traditional professions that we would normally do. Like we're stepping outside the boundaries of that. And these young kids, man, they're technical now. These kids, they're
Very
technical.
savvy. Oh my
They're
God,
tech
they're
savvy.
so savvy. They're so
You right?
savvy. I'm looking at my little cousins, and I'm like, and then my nieces and nephews, I ran into them, and I'm just like, wow, these kids today, they're just, I'm just blown away by how intelligent they are too.
Right.
It just blows me away.
Right.
Half the time I wish we had that sort of technology when we were coming up. I probably would have been
you know why I don't though?
Why is that?
You know what? Because it's like the technology is good. They are intelligent, but they antisocial too.
Yeah, well, see, I would have been outside anyway. I'm just saying, I know me.
Right.
Whatever.
Like,
I'm going outside.
I'm going outside. Like
I'm going outside anyway.
And not only that though, once you outside, you got to stay out there till you ready to go in, because once you go in,
that's it.
That's it. Your mama gonna tell you, don't be running in and out of my house, letting out my heat.
Ooh, the street lights came on. That was it for me.
But these kids nowadays, they're intelligent, but they're antisocial.
Yeah.
And that's why, the beginning of the year, I want to do. I'm back home. I want to do a little chess club for adolescents, and where, until COVID is done, it's gonna be done online and like virtually.
Yeah.
But I want to have a gang of young folks just learning how to play chess. You know what I mean? And doing it together. Not doing it, like I'm at my house. No, we're gonna be doing it together. So that's what I want to do, because these kids don't understand. When we grew up, you needed to be able to do two things: to take a joke and to deliver a joke.
Oh yeah, it wasn't nothing like the dozens.
The dozen, you had to. But if I'm texting a joke, you can think that joke is serious. Like, that's serious. Like,
he said, if you texting a joke.
If I'm texting it, like it ain't no joke no more. It's for real. You like, I had a client, right, and I was designing something for someone, so I had my caps on lock. So I said, what is it that you want? All in caps. She talking about, I just asked for a change. Why you screaming at me? Screaming?
Like she can really hear what's going on through the keyboard.
No, she looking at the words in all caps. I didn't know that meant screaming. I didn't know that. Like,
oh my God! Just even associating that with screaming is just hilarious to me.
That's what they do now.
Funny. Yes, they have.
It's a different language.
It's a language in itself.
It's a different language, so that's what they do, man. Hokie, every time we get on the phone, man, we be talking. Like, every time we get together, man.
Yeah, that's true, Norris.
We talk, like, that's why I knew we was gonna have a nice time with this interview. But
yes,
man,
sir.
Once again, I am proud of you.
Oh, thank you, man.
I am excited for
Likewise.
you. And I know that once you get up and going, it's going to be content, interesting content heavy, and informative.
Yes.
And funny, and entertaining. You know what I mean? So, man, I look forward to it, man. And when you do your pre-rollout or whatever, and you do your commercial, man, for your pre-rollout. Send it to me, man, and I do the commercial on my
Oh,
show,
thank
man.
you. I certainly will. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yes, yes.
I do it on the show, so the people that
Okay.
watch the BRI, they can see when you about to launch or whatever.
Oh
So
man, I appreciate that's a lot of love. I appreciate the love, and I definitely will get that over to you. You know, I ain't gonna have a problem doing that.
and
You
I ain't gonna
know
have no
it's coming.
problem airing it. I ain't gonna have no problem airing it, brother. No problem.
I
But
appreciate
man,
you.
I'm about hungry right now. Hokey.
Likewise, me too.
And
I think I'm gonna go get me
and
some jerk chicken. That's,
jerk.
Mhm.
You better go to Chinese joint and get you a chicken with some mumbo sauce.
Oh, I had some of that in the early part of the week, last week.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Hey,
it's
hey, look, the people that ain't from DC, they don't know what they
yeah.
missing with the mambo sauce, right?
That's that mambo sauce, boy.
Cause
That mambo
mambo,
sauce.
I don't know what it is. I know it's mambo sauce.
Chicken
I
wing,
don't
hot
know what
sauce,
it
and mambo sauce.
mambo sauce. But man, thank you for agreeing to do the interview with me, man.
Oh man, thanks
And
for having me.
once again, man, when you get your commercial and you ready to, your pre-launch, man, let me, just shoot it over to me and I definitely air it, brother.
Oh yeah, you'll be seeing it in January.
All right, so I don't know if you got your social media for the Face channel set up yet.
Oh yeah,
Um,
everything. We're on all the major platforms under construction. I mean, you can go. You'll see the logo and the promo commercial running on the sites. We haven't started uploading any of the content that will be rolled out on Roku. But as far as securing our space on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, library.tv, which is the cryptocurrency outlet platform I was telling you we were talking about the last time. We'll be out on that as well. So yeah, man, we just work.
So what are the usernames on the perspective? What are the
Phase
usernames
Cannabis
for-
Network, PHZE,
Okay.
Phase Cannabis Network. It's on all of the platforms across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, PHCE Cannabis Network.
That's right.
.com will be up. All of that will be all the same synergy. Everything's you know how I get out. So know. Yeah.
Right. Well, Hokie, man, hold back. Let me do this outro and hold back in the green room. Remember, I told you I got to talk to you for a minute, man. Everybody, Mr. Hokie Bowman, Cannabis Network.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my boy Hokie. I've been knowing him for about 2 years, man. Good brother. I'm excited for his network, man, and I know that it's going to be entertaining, informative, funny. It's just I like to see everybody win, man, and I think he has carved out himself a niche, and now he's positioning himself to win, and I know he's going to be victorious in that, man. But we're going to head up out of here, man. And I hope everyone enjoyed the interview. I hope everyone have a blessed night. And remember, in order for you to receive a blessing, you must first be a blessing. All right, everybody? Peace.